Be the change you want to see in the world is a mantra that's easier said than done. The reason that I'm choosing to focus on changing the leadership of self has personal implications. I would say that this has been a new challenge, or that this is a new challenge that I've been attempting to elicit change in, but that would be a vast understatement. I've struggled with my place in many avenues of life, with family, with friends, with colleagues, both academic and in work. And I have always taken the role of leader. It has been natural, it's never been forced upon me, and I've taken that role on with pride. The problems that I would run into would be placing myself into leadership roles informally, and by doing so, I would essentially get into trouble. Nothing serious, but I would usually be reprimanded by leadership. So now that I am in leadership, I am able to reflect on past leadership roles and truly see the issues that I have encountered. And I can reflect on that to make improvements. But some more change is needed. It's really difficult for me to sum up all the issues encountered in my past 15 years as taking on leadership roles. But briefly, my leadership style has always been considered by many to be too strong, maybe a little brash and abrupt. And it comes from a place of wanting to expedite the process, but it seems to come off as dismissive or brushing off people's opinions or seeming self-important. The real focus for me is the desire to lead others and eventually elicit change in cultures. The change has to come from within, clearly, and by reflecting regularly, I think that that will help significantly, and also by reflecting with my team, we can learn together. By doing those reflecting exercises, it'll impact the organizations that I work for, and it'll impact the culture both now and in the future. Accountability is difficult, however, as we know, whenever you try to change something or start a new habit, it takes about 30 days to kick in, and self-accountability is good up until a point. We all are human, we all have our failings, and I would imagine that my team and I would hold each other accountable. Obviously, very important. Regular feedback would be integral for success here. The biggest barrier that I see is silence. Silence is often viewed as acceptance, and personally I find that to be a recipe for failure. You can overlook opinions that way, and you can miss out on really good ideas and make a lot of assumptions if you just assume that silence is acceptance. So I have to express my need for this change, and I need to express that if we don't speak up against the silence of change and the necessary nature of this change, that it would be really difficult and detrimental to me and my teams and the cultures that I am part of. There's a song by Simon and Garfunkel called "The Sound of Silence," and there's a particular spot in the song that has always resonated with me, and it talks about expressing the problems with silence when you're trying to elicit change. And to quote it, it's, fools you say you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. As you can see, it's very pertinent to me, and this resonates to the difficulty of change. When there's so much background noise, even silence can be so noisy. So it's especially meaningful when you're trying to elicit self-change. So my goal is that I won't be silent, and I will always ask for feedback and reflect and potentially change my leadership of self. And with that, here's a snippet of Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence.